All righty. Welcome to this particular training call that we've got going on here. I guess it's the very first training call, Countdown to Freedom. The countdown is actually going on as we speak. And the phones, guys, I can tell you right now, through that last presentation, 25, 45, 65, 68, 69, 76, this would be 895. I've received almost 100 messages just between the last presentation that have taken place. And people all over the world are actually calling in wanting to find out about what's actually happening, what's going on, which is a good thing. And so obviously, yeah, we're still appreciative and still very humble about the start that we're actually having. But I can tell you right now, guys, there's a whole lot more to come with what we've got here with Countdown for Freedom. And so tonight I want to go through just a little bit of the compensation plan and give you some detailed stuff. Tonight is not going to be what I call a complete, thorough training. This is probably a little bit more advanced, a little bit more high-level presentation that I want to give. But I want the majority of you, if you are a brand new person in this industry, I want you really focused on the simplicity of 10. And what is that? 10 boomerang customers. When you build an organization, I want you focused on 10. One of the things that you're going to start seeing that we're creating here, and what I've always done, is I create in network marketing what's called cause and effect marketing. Cause and effect. Most network marketers, one of the biggest mistakes that I see that they do is they train things that they've heard from stage, but not things that they've done to make the money. And so they'll go to a seminar and they say, man, this is some really good information. And they would have they'll go out and train that because it makes them look really good on stage. I don't roll that way. We don't play around like that. What we do is we only train you on what actually works. What works. And so in network marketing, one of the things I want you to understand, if you want to maximize your results, you've got to have two elements to maximize results. You got to have an element that you can control. And then the second element you have that you've got to influence. Well, let's talk about these two elements here. One element of control is we can control the compensation plan. Why? Well, we don't have to worry about asking someone. Remember, this is a company for us, by us, which means that I've always, as a distributor, have wanted to have the maximum allowable payout as long as the company was healthy, okay? As long as the company was healthy. I always wanted to make sure the company wins. And that's the philosophy I want you to have as well, is that you should want the company to win. You know, I remember getting started and in my opportunity about 10 years ago. And I never forget when my commissions got over $25,000 per week consistently, I knew that the company could not afford it based off of the compensation plan. And I never forget calling the owner and saying, hey, listen, anything over $25,000 a week, I want you to keep it, don't pay me. And they were shocked. Why? Because I knew that I'd rather have this income for a long period of time than to extract everything out of the company that I can because of greed and selfishness, only to be leading my team to having to do another company because that one ran out of business. And so the thing that I want you to understand from a culture standpoint is that, guys, what we're going to have here and what we have already is a family atmosphere. It's going to be a very non-traditional of how we do things here, but it's a very family atmosphere. And the thing that I'm going to ask you to do is this. You know, I learned from a good friend of mine a long time ago, and he said, give me 1% of your trust and allow me to earn the other 99%. And that's what we're going to ask of you. But the other thing that I want is this here. I'm going to ask you to make sure that you look at this as your company. See, the way I look at it right now is that this is not my company. This is not about control. What I understand is that I'm a steward, that I've been given a responsibility to lead people to an opportunity that we've always wanted. And my role and responsibility is to be a steward over this opportunity and allow all the dreamers to go out there and make their dreams come true. That's really what Countdown to Freedom is all about. And so I'm just fortunate enough to be that steward, and I take that role very, very, very seriously. And so as we move along, one of the things I want to promise you is this. I want to give you a couple of promises. Number one promise is this, is that we're not going to be perfect. Number two promise is we're going to make a lot of mistakes. Number three is this, is that I pride myself that we won't make the same mistake over and over and over again. And so some of the times you're going to have some frustrating moments. I'm just letting you know how it works in launch and pre-launch and just in life in general. Some of the time, some of you may go on the website and you say, man, I didn't see any savings. I only saw points. So what? You know, in life, there's no absolutes whatsoever. And I've never found something that 100% of the time, it's perfect 100% of the time. And I'm not saying this in defense of things that we're expecting. I'm just telling you how life really works in life in general, not just only in companies, but in life. But I can tell you that we've got a big team of people that are actually working to make sure we bring you the opportunity that you can be absolutely proud of. We've already have different churches and fundraisers and pastors and nonprofit organizations knocking on the door, wanting to bring this product into their market. Why? Because my first call was to my personal pastor, okay? My first call was my personal pastor at the Lighthouse Church, Keon Henderson. And I let him know, hey, listen, what if I could actually contribute something and offer the church a custom website, whereas they're able to save, you know, on their travel, and all of the travel savings came back to the church. Could you build that building, that resource center that we're looking to build? Can we get there in half the time? He says, we'll get there in 25% of the time. And so I'm not just telling you to go target, I'm just letting you know that what we built here and what we're building, what you're helping us build, is an opportunity for the masses, for that Holton Buggs of 20 plus years ago who couldn't make more than $500 a month, like many of you as well, because I couldn't build and keep a team together. And so that's what we've got here. But I want to share with you some of the compensation plan, and then Saturday we're going to break down a different training, and I'm going to share with you really the essence of what it takes to build a strong, solid network marketing business. So let's kind of go here. Now, I want you to bear with me. My team has built this training for me, so I have no idea what slide is coming next. And if you don't believe it, even the first presentation that we had done earlier today, I had no idea what slide was coming next, but I just spoke from the heart as I always do. So if I try to plan things too much, you know what, you don't get the real HB here. So let's talk about how are we going to do this here. Now, let's see here. There we go. So let's talk about the starter packs. Okay, the starter packs. Now, what we have is this, our starter packs, basically, we call it standby. If you take a look at it, you know, basically this is how you're going to take flight, because we want everybody to take flight. When you're going at the airport, you can fly standby. Many of you have been on standby. When you've missed a flight or you're flying by buddy pass, you're on standby for the next flight, which means you can't move. You're waiting for opportunity, a big opportunity, all right? But you're in position, but you're just waiting. And so here at Standby, it's $49 kit. This will allow you to actually go out. You can personally enroll other people. You actually can receive your fast track commission. You will receive your first level commissions for enrollment, especially through the pre-launch phase. You can do that. You also will receive your 5 boomerangs. We want everybody to experience what it's like to give a customer some savings. So you'll be able to do that. You'll receive 25% of the referral commissions, okay? At the standby level. The I Decide presentation that you'll see once we launch. We didn't put it out now. Why? Because we have not released all the branding. So the I Decide presentation is going to be absolutely incredible. We formed some amazing partnerships that not only will we be presenting, we'll actually be using it for training as well. Some pretty unique things that we'll be doing. And your travel savings ambassador online management system. So let's go ahead and go to the next one here. And I went through these in the presentation, but the global packages that we do have, Coach Class, $250. Now, how will one actually register? Master, Visa, and American Express. We're working right now to make sure that we can actually accept even Bitcoin just for payment. That's not done yet. but our booking engine, we made sure it's the first booking engine that we're aware of in the travel industry that you can actually pay for your travel by Bitcoin, okay? So people who want to travel and you've got digital currency, you can pay for that travel by Bitcoin if you want to. What our goal is to make sure that if people want to pay you for these services, why limit ourselves? And so we're looking at all different types of pay. We're looking at WeChat Pay. We're looking at ACH, bank draft from different countries, Master, Visa card, digital currency, all different types of methods of payment we're going to encompass here. Why? This is a global opportunity, and why only use one standard of payment? I see companies do that all the time, and what they're doing is shutting the door to an evolving world. We want to open the door to how the world sees how business should be done, and that's what we're going to do. Now, Coach Class basically allows you, I'm not going to go through these benefits here, but I'm going to just use this with the compensation plan. On the $49.95, the 95 cents is important because that's what it is. It's $49.95 monthly subscription fee. People are asking, well, what do I get for that? Well, let me share something with you. I want to give you concept of how some of this comp plan is going to work. Not only is this customer driven, but I want to share with you why so many people will stay active in the business as well. Not only will you keep your customers, you're going to keep a lot of distributors. Now, if you pay attention, I kind of alluded to it a little bit during the presentation, that many customers, they don't just book a trip and book it today and travel today. So you're finding people that will book a trip today, but they may travel 2 months from now, and they'll have a reservation. What we are doing with our technology is setting it all up that you'll be able to see all future bookings that not only that you personally have, but through your entire team. So there's going to be a segment of the website that actually shows what the potential commissions are, because remember, when they book, that receipt comes right away telling what the savings are. Now, we won't pay those commissions until that trip has actually been taken, just in case there's a refund, a cancellation, or change of reservation, and the pricing may change or whatever that may be. So I want you to imagine this. I want you to imagine that you've got an organization and you've got in your organization 1,000 customers, Boomerang customers in your group. And out of that 1,000 customers, you've got maybe 100 pending trips. The average savings, $600, that's looking at what, maybe $60,000 in travel savings that's going to take place. That's a $6,000 income that you know that you've got coming your way. But here's what happens. If your distributorship ever goes inactive for a month, any pending commissions that you got flushes, and then they go up line. We're going to pay them out, but just not to you. So I want you to imagine this is one of the reasons of having that, because we're tracking all of this. We're tracking all of that. So what your website will actually do is it will actually convert to a Boomerang customer's website in the event that you don't do your monthly auto ship. It'll convert to a monthly to a Boomerang auto ship, a Boomerang site, and that means that if you travel, now what's happening is you're getting only 50% of the savings versus 100% of the savings. So people say, well, why that? Well, I can tell you this right now. One of our very good friends, and one of the reasons that this product really came, a good friend of mine, Peter Hirsch, as I mentioned earlier, he was in Mexico recently. And he went to Xcaret, which is a beautiful 5-star hotel, one of the most beautiful hotels over in Mexico. And what he saw, he couldn't believe. He went into this room, and it was a room maybe of about 100 people. Maybe we'll upload these pictures one day of 100+ people. And these people were coming in, and there were salesmen with these nice, golf shirts on, and they had this iPad, and they were giving presentations. And you know what they were presenting? They were presenting a product very similar to what we sell, just giving people access to hotels and resort destinations. That's it, for similar prices, but not as low as ours. 40% closing ratio, but the product, they sold it for $15,000, and they were closing 40% of the people. And as they go through the presentation, every time a person buys, they were ringing the bell, kind of like it was, just like this I forgot the name of the TV show, the movie that I saw a long time ago. But they were ringing the bell every time they made a $15,000 sale, 40% closing ratio. And so here, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about $1,000 is what it takes to maximize the opportunity, and $99 a month. So we put the $49.95 in for those people that may economically, until you start earning money, it may not necessarily, may not be so strong for you in the beginning until you start earning some of those commissions, and then you have the ability to upgrade, okay? Now, some people have asked as well, how do I get more boomerangs? Can I get more boomerangs? Yes, you can. What we're going to be releasing is the package of how you will be able to buy boomerangs. Why aren't boomerangs unlimited is one of the questions that we've had. Well, they're not unlimited because we want to protect the value of what it is that we have. If we gave unlimited boomerangs, then we'd have some geniuses out there who are doing some internet marketing, and they'll spam out 1 million people. And maybe because there's no relationship there, maybe they'll get 100 customers or 1,000 customers out of 1 million. But now you've got 999,000 other people who've been spammed, and now they look at this concept as some scam or some ripoff. And when you go to talk to that person, they're no longer interested because they say, I've been spammed about this 1,000 times. It's not going to happen over here. Okay. And so the technology that we have will disallow spam. We definitely don't support that, but there's a certain number of boomerangs that you'll have. Now, if you wanted to as well, you can purchase more boomerangs. What we're looking at, we have not finalized how the bundles will work, but we will sell them in bundles of 25, 50, and 100 boomerangs that you'll actually be able to purchase in addition for those people who really want to go out there and do some additional marketing, okay? Now, some are asking about the percentages. And our binary compensation plan, I'll share with you what the BV ratios are going to be as well. But if you see here, the coach class, you're able to earn 10%, business class 12%, and then first class 20%. Now, how does this really work in the binary? I'll show you the binary structure a little bit later. But we've got an 80% BV ratio here. It means $250, you get 200 BV, and $500, 400 BV, 1,800 BV. Okay. TSAs may upgrade to a higher pack anytime, not anytime that they decide, within 60 days, okay? Within 60 days. So you can upgrade within 60 days. If you decide to upgrade after 60 days, you must pay for the entire pack price, okay, after 60 days. So upgrading will be available. Now, monthly subscription fee, I think I went over that. Like I told you, I hadn't seen this presentation yet, so I'm kind of going by the seat of my pants as we've been just getting so many things. We've been getting so many things done, guys. This team that we have is absolutely incredible. And on this call and even tomorrow, I'm going to give a shout out to a lot of our team members that are working around the clock, making sure that this opportunity is strong. I'll give you the entire staff that we have and give some recognition so that you know this is not a 1 or 2 or 3-man show. But anyway, coach class, $49 a month, and it's 35 BV, and you're good, you're qualified there. The business class, 99 BV, and it's $99.95 a month, and you've got 75 BV as well. So I want to go ahead and mention that the 49 is $49.95 and $99.95. That's the way it's coded just in this presentation. It's not represented here. Because I don't want any of you saying, hey, listen, you said it was $1 cheaper. It's actually 95 cents more than what's presented here, okay? What this does is it allows you to maintain your active status. Now, there's different ways to get the 12, 15, and the 20%. In network marketing, you've got to offer a way to advance without making a purchase. That's to be compliant within the industry, and we have that as well. We'll give you a little details on that, but we'll cover that a little bit later in more detail, okay? TSAs may elect automatic deduction for their commission wallet. So each person, how will you get paid? We're setting up, or we have set up a e-wallet that we have. Each e-wallet can come with a Visa debit card that you can order as well, and you can use your money, or you can just have that wallet and you can direct deposit it to your bank. You can actually have your commissions set aside, or withdrawals, not your commissions, but your monthly auto pay deducted from your e-wallet, okay, from your commissions, which is a pretty good thing to have, okay? Now, as I mentioned before, any missed fees or missed auto pays or missed activation, if you're not qualified, you will downgrade your Boomerang site. You would downgrade to a Boomerang customer site, okay? And then your Boomerang customers rolls up to your sponsor. At least those commissions will roll up, okay? When you go inactive, and you do that for 90 days, I think it's 90 days we said inactive, then all of your customers roll up to your sponsor. Customers don't go to the company, they roll up to your sponsor, okay? And so all future commissions will be forfeited. Even if you re-enroll, you'll have to re-enroll to the bottom of the tree. You won't be able to reactivate that position. Now, the reward payout schedule, all of your direct sales, meaning that when you enroll a person and sell them their sell them their coach, business, or first class pack, those commissions will be paid out on a weekly basis. And then once we enroll into the dual team, now remember, the dual team is a binary. I don't want to confuse you. In the beginning, we start off with a fast start uni-level pay. That's just for pre-launch. Most of you are probably going to beg to keep it when you look at how the commissions roll. It's explosive, okay? We became very aggressive with that. So that's going to pay out weekly as well, okay? But once we convert to the full compensation plan that I'm going to explain, the binary or dual team will pay out on a weekly basis. The uni-level commissions will pay out on a monthly basis, as well as the leadership development bonuses that will pay out on a monthly basis. Now, what I want you to understand is that this leadership development bonus, this is the biggest bonus in the industry. This is where if you want to know where the biggest money is going to come from, it's not from the binary. The binary, you can only make $1 million a month. But if you want to know where the real money is going to come from, leadership development bonuses. People say, well, Holton, why didn't you just make it all one binary? Because we can't break records that way. We can't have what I'm shooting for here, and what I believe will happen is I believe in less than 5 years that we'll have multiple $5 million monthly earners. That income alone is coming from customers, not from recruiting, not from the binary. But if we rolled all of that into the binary, you're capped out at $250,000 a week, no matter how much volume you do. And one of the things I can tell you is this: for somebody who's really aggressive, when you meet your max and you can't earn more, your motivation goes down. I remember being in a company where I was maxed out completely, and we can only make so much money per month, and everything else kind of went into like a holding pattern. And if we ever dropped below it, would make up the difference. And it was like, if I stopped working and my team quit for 2 years, I would still max out. But if I tripled my volume, I didn't make any more money. It was a horrible incentive for a plan. And so when you've got a uni-level plan, what we've done is we've created the best plan out there. I want to show you what we have. On the front end, we have what I call the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini is known for speed. You can get to some really good income in a short period of time with the direct sales bonuses and the binary. On the back end, we have the Rolls Royce. The Rolls Royce is known for stability. See, if you were going to drive from New York to Houston, you don't want to do it in the Lamborghini. It will be the most horrible ride you've ever done. You may get there faster, but you'll be all beat up by the time you get there. But if you were in a race, you want to start with the Lamborghini. But by the time you've gotten up to a certain speed, you want to switch that thing over to a Rolls Royce. Maintain that speed, maintain that residual income, and you just want to make sure that there's no ups and downs in your income. That's the reason we put the most comprehensive uni-level aggressive payout in the industry right here, okay? And so those are going to be on a monthly basis. All right, now direct bonuses here. With this plan that we have for pre-launch, here's the pre-launch bonus here. All right, no, I'm sorry, this is the direct sales commissions that you'll receive. When you enroll someone and you sell them the coach class, you're going to earn a $20 commission. Okay, so you're earning 10% of the commissionable volume. Now, I want you to remember, you'll see something called CSV, commissionable sales volume, and then you're going to have what we call business volume, and there are two different types of volumes. I'll explain it a little bit later. Business class, you'll receive a $40 commission, and in first class, you'll receive an $80 commission, okay? $80 commission. This is how that works. In the binary or the dual team here, very simple qualifications for it. In order to earn binary commissions, you're gonna have to be qualified. One person that you personally enrolled on your left and one that you personally enrolled on your right. So you're saying, well, Holton, well, what about this uni level? How are we gonna do that? Every person that you personally enroll up until the time we launch this plan will be sitting in a holding tank. They will sit in a holding tank, meaning on March the 11th, you're gonna have the opportunity to say, I'm going to place this person to my left and place this person to my right. Well, you say, well, who do I place first? You place your best friend first? It's up to you. You place your mother, your father first? It's up to you. Do you place the person who's been most productive first? That's what I do. When I look at the plan, I take my mom and my family, and I sent an email out or message to my family. I've been so busy, they didn't even know we were launching. And I sent the message out to them today, letting them know we're launching the company. Well, I love my family, but none of them up until this point have been major builders. They've been supportive. They've built the business with us, but they've not been major supporters. My philosophy is this: why take my mother and place her above major builders trying to catch a power leg? Because my mom is going to come and say, well, son, can you help me also build my other side of business? My philosophy is this: if your mother is joining and she's not a big builder, place her below or front line to one of your major builders, because now your builder, that leader, can help the mother build both left and right, and that builder gets paid for it. Most leaders try to put all the family members in at the top, and they end up doing nothing. Put them down below leadership. Remember, it's not who's below you that makes you money. It's who's above you that's leading you is where your wealth comes from, okay? That's what happens. In my career in network marketing, I have never, still to this day, I've never, ever, ever had spillover. I've never had anybody place somebody down below me. And I can tell you the biggest earners that I've seen that I've been able to develop, the biggest earners, the majority of them never really had any spillover. They've had to build both legs of their business. And so some of you are going to receive spillover, and that's not a bad thing. But what I want you to do is I want us to start with the philosophy of, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I remember 11 years ago, almost 11 years ago starting. Here's what I told my sponsor. I said, listen, place me over here, your left or your right, and what I want you to focus on is building your other side. Why? Because it starts with me. What I'd love to have is I'd love for us to really think about, what is this industry all about? Is this industry all about me being guaranteed a power leg? Well, if you want a power leg, build it. This is what I always told people. They say, Holton, am I on your power leg? I say, yes, both of my legs are powerful. And I know I may be turning some people off here, but I'm telling you the truth, guys. You know, I speak the truth. And there's nothing wrong with being in a position where you have a left team or a right team and having some spillover or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. And some of you, guess what? You're going to have it. But when you have an entire company and everybody's looking up to say what somebody's going to do for me, nothing gets done. But when you go to work, what I've always wanted to do is create a leg for the people that I've sponsored that they couldn't catch it if they wanted to. That's where the real money is in this industry. If you want to know how I've been able to do what I've done, it's not because I looked upline to see who was going to do it for me. I looked down to see who I was going to do it for. Okay? And so hopefully all of us will develop a philosophy similar to that, and you'll see what happens to you. But more importantly, you'll see the type of builder that you actually become. This is why I can look anyone in the eyes right now today, square in the eyes, and I can give them a duplicatable model of how to earn what I've earned. Because you can't duplicate something that's been given to you, because the next person, it may not be given to them. But nothing was given to HB, and I went out there and I put people on my left and my right, left and right, left and right, until I had 42 personal sponsored, 21 on my left, 21 on my right, and then I went to work. And so hopefully you'll do the same thing. Now, How does the dual team work? One on your left, one on your right, you're now qualified. So what happens is this here, okay? In this example, let's just say you've got 25,000 points on your right, and you've got 100,000 team volume on your left. In this example, you're gonna receive, if you are a coach class, you'll receive 10% of that volume, which means that you'll have a dual team check, DTC, of $2,500. Real simple, that's how the binary works. I'm gonna share with you what some of the caps are in the binary. Here are some of the rules, and here are some of the caps. For those of you who don't understand this, don't worry about it. Count this as education or entertainment, but there's some builders out there who needs to know how the rules are actually going to work and what the ranks are, okay? Because even though you're building the uni level right now, you're actually setting yourself up for rank achievement as well. Now remember, as a TSA, you can actually start earning dual team commissions by not purchasing, but by building yourself to that level. You'll earn 10% with the weekly cap of $500. Why do we have 1,000? What we did is that we noticed that people, when they enroll the first week, we don't want to give them the small cap. We want to expand their cap of what they can actually earn. And we'll share with you how we did it. So the ranks, the builder ranks is what we call director, executive, and senior executive. Okay? Director, executive, and senior executive. So at director level, it's 2,500 personal team or personal sales volume. I'm sorry, team volume that you'll have, team volume. Okay? 50% rule applies, meaning that no more than 1,250 points can come from one leg of business in order to qualify. So that means you can have a person on your left who did a 1,250, a person on your left, right, did 1,250, and you're qualified. When you achieve director, you receive a bump, 12% in your binary commissions, and your weekly cap is $1,500 per week, or $6,000 per month. Executive, 5,000 points, okay? So when you see this period here, that really should be a comma, okay? That's a comma, so that's 5,000, not 5.000. So executive, 5,000, team volume, 50% rule applies, your cap goes to 2,000, and then senior executive, your cap goes to 2,500 points. Now we're gonna start with leadership ranks that we have. Here's leadership ranks. Leadership ranks are based off of team volume as well, okay? The builder ranks are based off of personal sales volume, which means that if you had enough travel savings commissions come through your center, you can actually go director and executive and senior executive without sponsoring or building a big team, okay? We wanted to make it where you can do it yourself or build a team, either or. But once you get to leadership, leadership means that you're leading a team. And so this is why it counts from team volume here. You're gonna have what we call your personal enrollment tree. Your personal enrollment tree means that anybody that you personally enrolled and anything that they build, whether it's in the binary or in the uni level, all of that counts towards your rank. If your sponsor places people below you and they build a team, you get paid off of that in the binary, but that volume does not count towards your rank. Your rank only comes from your team volume. In this example, Sapphire will be 15,000 in volume for the entire month. When you hit Sapphire, you get bumped up to 15% in the binary and you get a $3,000 weekly cap. Ruby, 40,000 in volume, 16% cap. Emerald, 80,000 in volume, 17% in the binary with a $10,000 weekly cap, means you can earn up to 40,000 per month at Emerald. That's 80,000 in total volume. And then Diamond, $200,000 in total volume with 18% cap. But I want to share something with you. And I don't know if we have it in this one here. Did we have the active numbers in here? Did we put that one in? Yep. Okay, is it on the next slide or something?
It's on the right slide.
It's on the right side?
The rank slide.
The rank slide, okay, okay, cool. So we're gonna share with you, what we did here is we did something unique. Most companies are concerned only about sales volume, and there's nothing wrong with that. We want sales coming in. But what a compensation plan is nothing but a mechanism to modify or to direct behavior. And so we wanted to direct the behavior in two different things. Number one, we want it to be customer driven. We want it to be volume driven, and we want it to be retention driven. And so we're going to give you an optional or an additional way to qualify for leadership ranks even if you don't have that big 1 month spike in volume. What I've seen in the industry is people who achieve a rank one time and they write that story to say, hey, listen, you know what? I'm a sapphire. You only qualified one time, but 6 years later, they're talking about being a sapphire. When there's people who didn't achieve sapphire in terms of that volume, but every month they're adding to their active distributor list, but they've never had the big spike. What about those people? And they sit in the audience and they feel like, wow, my consistency doesn't stand for anything. I'm maintaining an organization, it's growing, I'm adding to it, whereas this guy took a promotion and hit a rank, and now he's the world's greatest thing to the company, but he only did it 1 month. We're not going to shun anyone for that, but what we want to do is reward the person who's been consistent. So I'll share with you another rank qualification that we have. It's not, okay, he says it's not in there. So if you can pull them up real quick and I'll read them off to them. Okay, so let me give you an additional way to qualify for all of these ranks from Sapphire to Triple Crown, okay? I've got my computer here. It's across the top. Okay, so now if you look at these volumes, I don't need to read them out all to you. You can read on your own. So the regular ranks up to Diamond requires 40% rule. What does a 40% rule mean? It means that no more than 40% of the volume from one leg can count towards that rank. If you take Diamond, that means that no matter how big a leg is, only 80,000 volume you can count towards 200. That forces that you build 3 legs of business, because you can do 80,000 in one, 80,000 in two, and that means you got 160,000. That means you can have another leg with 40,000, or you can have 10 legs with 20,000 apiece because you haven't maxed out the 40% rule. So at Blue Diamond to Presidential Diamond, you're going to have what we call the 30% rule. And then you've got from Crown Diamond to Triple Crown Diamond, you've got the 20% rule that applies. Now, you'll see that at Triple Crown, obviously you've got $250,000 in weekly income that you can earn. That means that this compensation plan will pay $1 million per month in binary commissions. Okay, $1 million a month in binary commissions. So let me give you an additional way to achieve these ranks, because some of you are probably saying, wow, I would love to be a Triple Crown, but I don't see myself doing $10 million in volume. Well, first of all, don't ever say that. Let me share with you another way that you can do it. If you are a Sapphire and you want to achieve Sapphire, you can do 15,000 in volume, or in any month you have 100 active travel savings agents. That means that 100 people who are actually paying for their auto pay system, and you use the 40% rule, you're qualified as a Sapphire. That means you don't have to have that one spike in volume, but maybe you're that consistent guy. Maybe you're the person that your team is only, you're putting 25 people in a month. That's about it, but you're maintaining all of them. That means, 4 months later, guess what? You're a Sapphire, even though you didn't do 25 or 15,000 in volume in 1 month. So you can do it based off of active. So if you maintain that number, you're getting paid at that level as well. Pretty cool. At Ruby, you can do 40,000 in volume, or you can do 200 active travel savings agents. At Emerald, you can do 80,000 or 400 travel savings agents that are active. And at Diamond, 200,000 in volume, or have 1,000 travel savings agents in your business. See, sometimes people have said, man, you know what? I wanted to be a Diamond, but my team is small. That means that over time, if you stay consistent and you build culture and you build a team and you make sure that you are responsible for your team staying in the business, you can actually achieve those ranks. Blue Diamond, 500,000 or 2,500 active travel savings agents. Black Diamond, you can do $1 million in volume or 500 travel savings agents. Presidential Diamond, 2 million or 10,000 travel savings agents active. Crown Diamond, 5 million or 25,000 actives. Double Crown, 7 million or 35,000 actives. And then Triple Crown, 10 million or 50,000 active distributors with the 20% rule. That means that even if you've got 50,000, you can have no more than 10,000 in one leg of business. Why is that? We can't give you credit. If you sponsor one person and they put 60,000 actives in, you're not a Triple Crown. They did the work. So it's the 20% rule. It means that you're going to be responsible for building at least 5 uni-level legs of business, okay? Now, on the ranks, I've gone through the qualifications. So I've pretty much covered this one as well in terms of what the builder packs will pay and the volume that's required. Now, one of the other things that's going to be required here is this. To become a senior director or director executive or senior executive, 5 boomerang customers, okay? 5 boomerang customers is going to be required. Leadership ranks from Sapphire to Diamond, 10 active boomerang customers. I'm sorry, from Sapphire to Emerald, 10 active boomerang customers. That means that they've had to book trips that month active. That means that they're in and they're active. And then from Diamond on down, you must have 20 personal boomerang customers in addition to the other qualifications. Very simple stuff that we've done here. Why did we do this? Because we want the focus to be on customer acquisition. This is where your income is going to come from, customer acquisition. Uni-level plan, and after the uni-level plan, I think that we'll talk about the leadership development bonus, and I think that then we'll be actually done, okay? So in the uni-level, and the plan that's to come, it's going to be very, very simple. What we've done is we've put together 7 levels of uni-level earnings that you'll be able to receive. As a travel savings agent, ambassador, I'm sorry, you can earn your first level of commissions, and that's at 10%. So that means that anybody that you personally enrolled, whatever they have coming through their organization or through their personal center, you can earn 10% of that volume. As a director through senior director, you'll earn 2 levels, okay? Through executive director or executive, you'll earn level 3. All of these are 10%, 10, 10, 10. At Sapphire, you now get your 4th level, and that's 8%. Ruby, 5th level, 7%. Emerald, you'll get your 6th level at 6%. And at Diamond, you'll receive the 7th level at 5%. So that means that anything on your 7th level, you're receiving 5% of. So all of those travel savings points that are accumulated, this is why you want your other travel savings ambassadors to get customers. Why? Because you're going to get paid a lot of money, specifically when you get down to those deep levels. 5% on level 7. I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's a lot of income that's available down through there, okay? Now, here's where the big money is. I'm not going to explain all the details behind it, but the big money is right here in what we call leadership development bonus. Why is that? The LDB is this, is that you should get paid and rewarded heavily for developing leaders. And that's what we want you to do, develop leaders, not maintain followers. And so what we're going to do is put the majority of the income into this bonus here. This bonus is based on generations. Some of you won't understand it. Don't worry about it. That's why all we want you focused on is getting your 10 or your 20 customers, and then building your team and teaching them to do the same. The compensation plan works for you whether you know how it works or not. What I'm going to do is show you how to never look at this number again, never look at this diagram, but I'm going to put together what you should do to maximize it, okay? Every time I purchased a car, I've never looked at the engine and asked them, how does this engine work? I always wanted to make sure that I could maximize my experience. And that's what we're going to do for you. We're going to maximize your experience. So if you're a novice, don't pay attention to these numbers. This is for the experts, okay? For them to know what to do. We got your back. If you're brand new, if you've never been into leadership, don't worry about that. We're going to tell you what the activities are to do. Why do I say that? If you've ever gone to the doctor, do you want the doctor to explain to you what's wrong with you, or do you want him to fix you? An explanation as to what's wrong doesn't mean anything. I want him to tell me, what do I need to do to fix me? If I've got diabetes or if I've got high blood pressure, whatever it may be, don't explain to me how it works. Tell me, doctor, what must I do so that I can eliminate this issue in my life? And then give me the plan. And if I work the plan, then all of that other stuff, that intelligent stuff, takes care of itself. So I don't want you focused on all of these details. Leadership development bonus. This is generations. Generations are not levels. It means that once you develop the sapphire rank, this is going to be the most important rank to develop here. As you develop the sapphire rank, what we're going to do is reward you on that sapphire's entire volume outside of other sapphires. Most companies pay you a matching bonus. A matching bonus is a percentage of a percentage. This is a percentage of the total, okay? People ask me, Holton, where did you really make your money? The maximum earnings I've ever earned in a binary is a little over $375,000 a month. But where was I making over $900,000 a month? It was in the residual. And out of that 900,000, close to 600,000 of it, close to 500,000 of it was coming from a bonus that was paid in generations. That's where the income is. And we're going to show you how to maximize it. So once you achieve Sapphire, you are now able to qualify for one generation. That means that any person in your organization, in your personal group that achieves Sapphire, you're going to take 2% of their entire volume, not including any other Sapphires. Now, the next Sapphire could be 8 levels deep. When you get Ruby or you achieve Ruby, you now qualify for your second generation. But your second generation, you get 3%. That means that any first levels, first generations you get, second generations, you get 3% of their entire volume, not including any other Sapphires. Once you achieve Emerald, you'll receive a 4%, paying out 3 generations. And once you achieve Diamond, 5%, paying out 4 generations. It may not look like there's a lot. This is the biggest commission. And this style of commission here has created the biggest residual income in the history of network marketing. How do I know? It's my income. It's where I made my income from here. And so we're going to show you cause and effect and how to develop and build Sapphire. Stop worried about left, right, 20%, 10%. I'm going to show you how to build generational income. Most leaders focus on how much money they make in the binary. That's going to be part-time, temporary income for those leaders. I want to show you how to have generational wealth. Generational wealth, that's why we put it in a generational bonus that has dynamic compression. So for those leaders who understand dynamic compression, remember, there is a difference between full compression and dynamic compression. It means that there's zero breakage to the company. There's no gaps between, there's no company money if somebody doesn't qualify. It automatically goes up and pay multiple bonuses to the next leader that's upline. That's how that works, okay? What we also put together is a lifestyle bonus pool that we've taken a percentage of revenue, and we're putting together an incredible lifestyle bonus pool that we're not releasing all the details yet. Why? We haven't finalized them yet, to be candid. People say, are you going to have car bonuses? I'll tell you what we won't have. I'll tell you this right now. You're not going to have a company here that says when you achieve a level, we're going to start paying your car note. Let me tell you why. In my experience, car programs, they hurt distributors more than any other program I've ever seen before. I've seen distributors qualify 1 month for a car bonus and they're in the car bonus. They go out and they get in debt. And when they go out there and they get in debt, you know what happens? Their income goes up for a moment and their expenses also go up. But what happens is to about 90% of those people is that they stop qualifying because they did enough to get the car bonus. Their income now goes down, but their lifestyle expenses are still up and they're stuck here with their car note. And every time they get in the car and turn the key, it's a negative experience. Not going to happen here. What we believe in, one of our core philosophies, is something that we call good. We're going to show you how to be good. G-O-O-D. Get out of debt. One of the core philosophies that I have is this, is I wanted to make sure that I owe nobody for anything. One of the biggest celebrations that we're going to have here is not all of the debt and the credit cards and all the stuff that you're going to buy with all this money. But one of the biggest celebrations we're going to have in this company is people walking across the stage, and we're going to have mortgage burning parties. We're going to have car note burning parties because we don't want to trap you with all of this high expenses, forcing you to go out there and build a business. We want you to be able to build with a wealth philosophy. And I can tell you, you're going to see leadership courses called What to Do with the Dollar that I've developed, and show people how to not only earn this money, but how to take your money now and as a friend of mine said, put overalls on your money and have your money going to work for you. See, my goal has always been not to trap people to say you've got to only do network marketing. My goal has always been from the beginning to show leaders how to develop 6-figure monthly income streams and 5 separate industries outside of network marketing. I'm not a network marketer. Network marketing for me is nothing more than a vehicle that I've been able to use as a professional business person and an entrepreneur. And I use the network marketing platform to create cash flow. This is what we've done. My role has been a steward over a company that I believe will pay you more than any other company in the history of the world, so that you can create cash flow and you take that cash flow and you go out there and create wealth. So with all of the fake stuff that people buy and all the Rolexes and all of that stuff is cool. And I've had my time with it and I'm not against it. Get out of debt first. Get out of debt first and have real success. One of my biggest pet peeves is I meet networkers from all over the world and they fly in and they tell me how much they need a cell phone bill to be paid, but they tell me that they earned $10 million in the last company because they've spent all of their money. Not here. One of the philosophies that I want to have and what I want to show the people who partner with us and become a part of Countdown for Freedom is how to have true happiness and how to have true wealth. I'd rather for you to live in a smaller house that's 1/10 of the size of the one that you'll have a mortgage on, knowing that you owe nobody for anything. And I set that example myself. This house that we built here is 28,000 square feet. It's absolutely incredible. And I can't wait for you VIPs to come and see it. Zero debt. There's no mortgage and there never has been a mortgage. All of my cars, I don't purchase them with car notes, cash. And so with our lifestyle bonus pools, when there's a car, that means you've earned the car and we're giving it to you with the title whenever we put programs like that together, but we're never going to encourage you to go out there and get into debt. We're looking to do some things that have never been done before in the history of network marketing, and we're going to do it. And so we're not going to follow the masses by being fake and buying the fake Louis and the fake Gucci and the fake this and the fake that. No. Quality, it's going to be real, but we want you to have some money in the bank. I don't want your net worth that you have on the exterior, your hat, your purse, your shoes, to be more than what you've got in the bank. And what I found is too many people, they spend more money on what they look like in their image. This Instagram world that we live in, they spend too much money trying to impress people that they don't like, impress people that they can't stand, okay? That for what we call status. Guys, let's do something different. Let's send the industry a different message that you can go out there and you don't have to have the biggest that or the biggest this, but you can have the biggest bank account and your kids can be set. And you can make sure that you take care of multiple generations with the wealth that you're going to create in this company. And some of you may disagree with that philosophy. And I'll tell you this, I don't apologize for it. Why? Because we've seen time and time and time again that people who've allowed money to make their lives worse. Our philosophy is we're going to allow money to make your life better. So those lifestyle bonuses, we're putting them together and putting systems together. We're going to do things that will absolutely amaze you. But more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you a piece of advice here. There's a video that I did, and sadly, I would always talk about this, that I never heard anybody on my own team, out of over 3 million distributors, I've never heard anybody on my team talk about using that video to launch groups. Right now, what you're witnessing right now is how I started almost 11 years ago. See, what I want you to understand is this, and I'm not comparing myself to these guys whatsoever, but I do understand that I know my stuff when it comes to network marketing. I know my stuff when it comes to launching, and I'll challenge anyone in the entire world to launch with me. It's not necessarily competitive, but I've studied this. I've taken the tens of thousands of hours of audios and the tens of the hundreds of books that I've actually read and the millions of people that I've actually had a chance to lead, and I understand how to launch. and how to go out there in orbit and take an organization into orbit. There's a video that I did years ago, and I did it at what was the name of the event? GoPro. If you Google the word Holton Buggs, how to launch, it's 10 minutes long. People of our organization, I'd never heard people talk about using it, but I've met $1 million earner after $1 million earner after $1 million earner after $1 million earner give me credit or call me and say, hey man, listen, I just want to thank you so much. This is the video that I use to train my people. I want you to go watch that video, and I dare you for 24 hours to make sure that if you're sitting down, you're listening to it. If you're driving, you're listening to it. I dare you to make that your playlist for 24 hours and inundate yourself with the thought process of how to launch a business. At the end of that whole presentation, I'm known for saying, if I had it to do all over again, because people would always ask me, what would you do? And that is, I would believe much bigger, much faster. Believe much bigger, much faster. And I think you can see that by the goals that we've got for Mission 10,000 and 1 million customers, 90 days. Believing much bigger, much faster. Don't only use these 2 launch calls that we've got going on. Get with your leader and plug into the launch calls that they've got in between. If you want to coast, you'll be on 2 calls. If you want to launch, you'll have 4, 5, 6 calls going on every day in between the calls that we're doing. So between now and March the 11th, we're going to participate. We're going to lead the field. And it's not only going to be me, I've got other team members that we'll have that's going to be doing these calls as well. And we're going to lift off incredibly. The last philosophy I want to leave you with before we give credit to some of these people is this. In this industry, not only are we travel savings ambassadors, I want everybody to be a network marketing industry ambassador. I want you to respect the industry, and I want you to respect other companies. I don't want you going out there targeting network marketing companies such as travel companies thinking, well, I got to go target travel. Guys, this is a people business. It has nothing to do with somebody who has experience in the travel network marketing company. If you're already a part of a company, here's what I recommend you do. I recommend you read your policies and procedures to see what is it that you can do, and make sure that you do it within the laws that you can be proud of. Make sure that when you lay your head down at night, the way that you actually built this business, you can tell somebody to do the exact same thing. I don't believe in trying to raid other people's companies. I don't believe that you should try to raid your company whatsoever. I can tell you right now what's a hollow victory. A hollow victory is when you tear down something to build what you have. I've seen people in this industry try to tear my name down just so they can build their own income. And I watch them today, and they're not happy at all. Some of them got a little bit of money. They're not happy because of how they did it. I don't believe in talking negative about any other company out there. I sent out some emails and some text messages today to friends of mine who own network marketing companies in the travel space to let them know I started my own company and I respect what they've done. And I told them that if they see anybody that's a part of our company who's actually causing some irreparable harm to their company by just targeting or damaging, let me be the first phone call. Why? It's not so we can drop the hammer and terminate. It's not what this company is all about. We want to rehabilitate and let you know there's a better way to go out there and do it. See, it's not only that we're going to make money here. We're going to make a difference. We are going to make a difference. Later on, we'll be introducing our lead executive that's actually going to be heading up our philanthropic calls-driven component that we have. We already have it. We've already thought about it and how we're going to do it, but we'll be developing that as well. But make sure, ladies and gentlemen, you do it the way that you believe is the right thing to do. People have always asked me, this is Holton, what's your secret? Tell me what your secret is. Here's what my secret is. I'm not more talented than you. For some of you, yeah, I may have a little bit more talent. And I have also a lot of longevity. 28 years I've been doing this. I'm no better than you. I don't have a college education. I'm not the best speaker. I read very slow, and I'm very confused when I read. So I'm not the smartest tool in the tool shed. But what I had to realize is that the tools that I have are given to me. And I'm not looking at somebody else and comparing myself to somebody else. That was when I became HB, when I can look in the mirror and say, I'm going to use what it is that I have. Because I would always go to meetings sizing everybody else up, saying, why am I'm not white enough, I'm not black enough, I'm not brown enough, I'm not tall enough, I'm not short enough. And I'd see a guy who go out and succeed, and I'd say, the reason he succeeds is look at the type of suit he wears. And I go out and try to buy that suit. And I was trying to build my business from the outside. And it wasn't until I started to look inside and build my business from who I was and became a better HB, that was when I started winning. And so here's how I live my philosophy. Here's how I live my life. Every single day, every day, without fail, I make it a point to make a difference in somebody else's life. It may be real small to me, but it may be the difference between a happy day and a sad day for them. Sometimes it may be just an extra tip that I'll give. Sometimes it may be the smallest of compliment to just raise somebody's self-awareness. And here's what happens. And I don't do it for this reason. It's just a philosophy, but here's why I do it. I do it because, number one, it's the right thing to do, but here's what happens. See, I believe this universe is always watching down on us, and somebody that's greater than us is watching and paying attention to what you do. I believe that there's another bank account that's out there that are deposits that are made in that you can't actually make those deposits yourself. But every time you go out there and do some goodwill, here's what happens. Deposits are made in the bank account that one day you're going to need to withdraw from. So people are wondering, Holton, why is it that when you meet a person, that person's the right person? Because of what I did 3 years ago, making a difference in somebody's life. And why is it that when you start a business, it always grows? Because of what I did 3 years ago. See, I allow that universe to guide me to making sure that I don't have to try to find the right person. I just go out and do the work. And because of how I live my life, I believe that that bank account, that the universe is saying, hey, listen, here, for what you've been doing, here. And so I've learned to live with peace. And more than anything in the world, I know you're going to make money. We want you to live with peace. We want you to live with peace. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, I can't wait for us to invest the rest of our lives together. I am excited. I'm prepared. And here's what I'm going to promise you. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to have sleepless nights working to make sure that we serve you. We've got an incredible team of people, and I want to read the names of some of the people that are making this happen right now. An awesome team of people that we have. I'll start here with Kathy Adams. Thank you so much, Kathy. Jeff Bennett, Paige Bennett, Christina Berry, Terry Bliven, Michelle Bohms, Alberto Calderon, Austin Chapman, Brandon Chapman, Justine Cody, Debbie Davis, Jacqueline Davis, Ryan Earls, Terry Grant, Virginia Johnson, Darcy Jones, Sean Manning, Jeremy Mitchell, Nancy Piazza, Emily Spears, Lori Spears, Madison Vetch Crawford, Alana Wood, Peter Hirsch, and I got to give special thanks to someone that I've become very close friends with now, Mr. David Manning himself. Many of you are going to be able to meet David Manning, but David Manning was actually the president and CEO of a company called Traverse Global. And he's the president and CEO of also Extreme Travel. And when I had a chance to meet David and I connected from a vision standpoint. David right now is in Chicago, Illinois, with a big group of people over there. And I can tell you, this guy has always been about his people. And from the day I met him in my living room, he was talking about his people so much, I thought he was Moses, talking about his people, right? But David, I want to thank you so much for what you've done, 18 years that you've held an opportunity together and served so many people. Myself and nor anybody else is absolutely perfect, but to do something for 18 years means that you've done enough of the right things. And I want to thank you and your family and everything that you put together, as well as my family as well, but some other people that we have that's working behind the scenes. Obviously, guys, Mark Kithcart, you don't see him a whole lot, but this guy is having sleepless nights. He's over there in Santa Rosa, California. And I want to thank Debbie Kithcart as well, his wife, for and those kids for allowing him to just have the freedom to do what he's doing. I called Mark Cathcart and I told him what I was doing, and he dropped an incredible opportunity. Immediately, the first day, put his 2 weeks notice in and says, I want to be a part of your vision. I want to be a part of your dream. And so thank you so much, Mark Cathcart, for everything that you're doing. Guys, many of you know, and you've seen him, you're going to see a lot more of him, but T. Gray, he's sitting right here. I mean, we're in an NSZ, no sleep zone. I had to go get a nap after lunch today. He was supposed to get one too, but people kept calling, and they're just working, guys. But T. Gray, guys, this guy has just been there. Same thing. I called him up and told him, I said, T. Gray, I got it. And he dropped what he was doing. He had just become the executive director of a publicly traded company, millions of shares of stock. He had only been there maybe about 90 days. Was it about 90 days? Almost 4 months. And he stopped on a dime and says, HB, I'm ready. Whatever I got to do, I'm done. Never asked about what his salary is going to be. Mark neither. None of these guys asked about that. They said, I want to partner with your vision. I want to thank you and Peyton and Trina as well, because it's a sacrifice on the entire family to go out there and build. And we really, really appreciate him. And I want you guys, when you have a chance to meet him, I want you to really appreciate him as well. Many others in the background. I know that there's some other people that I'm missing as well, but we really, really appreciate you. We couldn't do what we do without you. I can tell you, this team has teed me up to make me look good, because if I had to make this PowerPoint, probably nobody would get in, okay? So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow, all the way over there from Africa, Asia, Europe, all over Europe, the EU. I know you're live and well, all over Mexico, Colombia, Peru, Latin America. We've got them going crazy over there as well. Over in Asia as well, from Korea, to even people over in China, from Thailand. I've seen people in India as well, all over the place. I know we've got a lot of people right here represented in the United States and North America as well. I want to thank each and every one of you for actually joining and being a part of a dream that I've always had. And that dream is not owning a company. That dream is actually being able to create an environment to treat distributors the way they've always wanted to be treated. So thank you guys so much. I love each and every one of you, and we will see you on tomorrow's call. Goodbye, everybody.